It's Q101.
Ahoy! Let's go! We're waking up Chicago. Turn up the radio. It's time to start the show. On Q101 with the Morning Crew. Ahoy! Let's go! Welcome to the morning show.
And it's Friday.
I've created a monster, cause nobody wants to see Marshall no more. They want shady, I'm chopped liver. Well, if you want shady, this is what I'll give you. A little bit of weed mixed with some hard liquor, some vodka that'll jumpstart my heart quicker than a shock when I get shocked at the hospital by the doctor when I'm not cooperating. When I'm rocking the table while he's operating. Hey! You waited this long to stop debating, cause I'm back, I'm on the rag and ovulating. I know that you got a job, Miss Cheney, but your husband's heart problem's complicating. So the FCC won't let me be, or let me be me, so let me see. They try to shut me down on MTV, but it feels so empty without me.
Well, what a morning here in Chicago. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101, 312-591-8300. It's how you communicate with us for the next 4 hours. Yeah, we got a lot planned, but I am so fired up that
Yes.
I get to do something, Kenzie,
What are you going to do?
that I haven't done in 347 days this morning.
What?
Is actually play
What?
a Bears win montage.
Ooh, did you put together a little montage?
Look
at you.
Put together a little something just for you in Chicago. Here we go.
Got it open and making the catch inside the 30-yard line. DJ Moore. Four-man rush again. Fields to the end zone. Moore. Touchdown. Fields to the end zone. Reaching up. Does he make the catch again? DJ Moore. Howell throws this going to be picked off. Greg Stroman intercepting it on the pass right over the middle. Fields again. Over the middle. Caught. Connect. Touchdown. Howell fires. That's caught. It's going to be a first down here. Catch is made. Thomas. Ball comes out. Chicago thinks they have it. Pass is pulled in by Moore. Gets free. Washington gambles and lose the gamble that time. 56 yards, touchdown. Moore able to make the catch and then free to the end zone. What a night for Fields. What a night for Moore. What a night for Matt Eberflus.
What a night for Chicago. An epic day of a roller coaster of emotions of finding out just hours before the Bears game last night that very sad news that legendary Chicagoan NFL Hall of Famer Dick Butkus passed away at the age of 80. And you can't tell me.
It's kind of like, I don't know. It gave me eerie vibes.
You can't tell me there's nothing going on at play there.
It was like a sacrifice.
I even mean more possessed. I think that Dick Butkus possessed the Bears last night.
Is that what you think happened?
His spirit possessed them, and they weren't even playing. I think he was
thank
playing.
God they won in his honor, though.
Yes.
Right?
If you couldn't
Come
win that,
on.
embarrassing if they couldn't have won that game. And I guarantee something was at play in the universe last night. And I've never, because they were possessed. That first quarter, which by the way, I missed a lot of it trying to get Harper to bed with an ear.
Here we go.
I'm not trying to bring negative to the most positive day in Chicago in 347 days. I'm not going to be negative. But Harper has Harper had an earache. And I read books. Megan read the books, actually, but it wouldn't work. So I said, let me take a shot at it. It'll take a few minutes. It took about 45. I had to go back and rewind and rewatch all that first quarter, which was historic. Harper went to sleep and woke up this morning. Well, she's not awake yet, but knows that the Bears are going to the Super Bowl. Okay,
I know, it's happening.
It's all
Super Bowl
happening.
team.
It's all happening. It's all happening.
Like, statistically, we still could. Like, if you crunch the numbers.
Listen, my prediction was 9-8. We can still go 9-8, squeak into the playoffs, and once you get in the playoffs, all you got to do is get in, and then you surprise people. I don't know.
That's all you got to do.
That's all you got to do. It's not that hard. You just got to go in and do it. What a day. What a last 12 hours, really. It was just, woo.
I was so happy, truly like in honor to Butkus. I'm like, oh, you can't have like negative Bears news wrapped around. You know what I mean? You
Yes.
have to honor this man.
Yeah.
So how crazy it is that like he passes and then they have their win. Like, thank goodness they honored him like that. He deserved good, positive Bears energy on the day he passed away.
Yeah, like his son and him have been doing tailgates at Bears games for the last, couple years for charity, and they do such a great job with it. They were in here last year. And yeah, just like you said, it's just what a bow on everything. And I'm telling you, I had goosebumps half the game. I said, this. I haven't felt like that. And people say sometimes we get too wrapped up in sports of they lose a game. Okay, they're going to lose. It's Chicago sports next year, blah, blah, blah. You see what the power of sports is last night and this morning, how people feel this morning. We won one game. We're 1-4. It doesn't matter.
You know what? I had no traffic on the way in. I showed up and Case goes, "What are you doing here so early?" I'm like, "We're the only ones at work."
Yeah.
I think everybody got so wasted celebrating last night that there's nobody here.
Case, did you celebrate with a favorite Mountain Dew flavor last night?
Well, it was a little late, so I busted out the caffeine-free Sprite, but I had a lemon lime celebration, to say the least.
All right.
It was a good night.
You should have seen Case's face when I walked in the door today, though.
I was like, oh no, what happened? Why are you here so early? You're here at 5:15.
Oh my, she was here at 5:15?
I know, like right after you split to do that little John montage, Kinsey got here.
Yeah.
Good Lord, what'd you do with the extra time?
Case and I just talked for a while.
Yeah, she complained about a bunch of things. she had a lot on her chest.
Did you know we're the only ones that have to be at work today? I didn't see a single car.
Today should literally be a holiday, and
Yes.
we want to hear from you all morning. And right now, 312-591-8300. Call in right now. Do you have our energy? Or is it just another day I hope it's not. This is a good day. This is a great day to be a Chicagoan. And it's a great day to be alive. And it's a great day to come into work a little bit early.
God bless America.
Hell yeah.
Amen. Super Bowl, baby.
Yeah. USA.
My baby's going to be born during the Bears Super Bowl. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, that's right. The due date is right there on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's go.
Let's get
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Well, as it is a glorious morning here in Chicago, the Bears are going to the Super Bowl. They're on their way the first step last night. Brian and Kenzie on Q101. But it was a weird, as Kenzie used the word, eerie. I had goosebumps during that game after just hours before announcing that Chicago legend. And you know what's cool about Dick Butkus? Is that he was not, he was not only the toughest mofo around, he was hilarious. He ended up being in a lot of movies and commercials, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But here was audio of Dick Butkus talking about football and Chicago, the way he was brought up, and how you're supposed to play football in that area. You don't hear guys talking like this anymore.
I want to just let them know that they've been hit, and when they get up, they don't have to look to see who was that hit them. It shouldn't be any puzzle. When they come to, they got to say, well, it must have been Butkus that got me.
Dick Butkus was much more than an intimidator. In just 9 seasons, he forced 47 turnovers, including a then NFL record 25 fumble recoveries.
Wow.
His career was cut short by a broken down knee, but not before Butkus had played every down of football he possibly could. He stood for something just as important as victory. He gave everything he had on every play.
Everything. Did you, Kenzie, grow up maybe with your dad watching NFL films in one room and you heard that voice? That's one of the voices they have, but that would go like, football.
Brian, it's hilarious that you think that we had more than one TV. Yes, I heard it, and it wasn't in the other room.
Well, I mean, maybe you were in the room, I don't know, doing something else, and then there was the one TV in the other room. I don't know. You had one TV growing up?
Yeah.
Hey, we did too.
And then I watched the football. Apparently you don't think I did.
Oh, I know you're a sports girl.
Yeah.
Case, did you have more than one TV growing up?
We had a few.
Oh, look at that, Kenzie.
Well, with all that, what are you going to do with all that land? You got to put like TVs and stuff on it.
Yeah, that was kind of our idea too. Was we got all this space.
Yeah.
TV would look good
He's
there
like,
and there.
What are we going to fill this up with? We already put up a pool, a jacuzzi, TVs.
It was an above ground pool.
A guest house. Like, we don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
Didn't have a guest house, had a barn.
Well, that's a big guest house.
Oh, yeah, when you look at it that
People get
way.
married in barns.
Yeah, that's right.
It's sort of a glass half full perspective.
More people have guest houses than barns. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
but I did not have a guest house. I'm a statistical anomaly.
Sweet.
Oh, man. Yeah, but that voice, to hear that, all the old football stuff like that was always just, cranked from the other room. It'd always be hearing echoing in. And that's what Dick Butkus is part of that those old NFL films montages. Greatest linebacker of all time, one of the greatest players of all time. So, we're going to honor all this today with the Bears' victory and Dick Butkus and a great Chicagoan, played for the Illini all the way through. So Chicago and Illinois. But we'll keep doing some other things as well, like we do have Q101 Twisted Christmas tickets coming up at 7:10 and Clash with Kenzie.
Ew.
And John Mulaney tickets coming up at 9. And a fact that makes your brain go... coming up here shortly. It's beach weather. Brian and Kenzie, Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
All right, so here's the fact. For years, Fred Durst, and we're talking about demands of bands, had a line in his contract that stated any video game that uses Limp Bizkit music in its soundtrack had to then use Fred Durst as a person, him, as a playable character in the video game.
That is so fun.
That is amazing.
What a great idea.
Yeah. Now, that people, I think, also forget, there was about a good 18 months when Limp Bizkit and Fred Durst owned the world, not just, Chicago or a music scene. They owned everything. They were on the news every night. I remember doing the secret show around Chicago when Fred would call up Q101 and give us hints to where they were playing, and they played on a rooftop downtown. That's a whole nother story. But so, yeah, Fred Durst was in 3 video games. He was, let's see, what was he in? He was in WWF SmackDown Just Bring It in 2001.
Ooh, that's a good one.
WWF Raw 2002. And he was in a Fight Club game, too.
Fighting, huh?
Yeah. And it's hilarious, by the way, the Fight Club game. Case, have you ever played the Fight Club game?
No, I haven't played the Fight Club game. I've played WWF Just Bring It. That is considered to be one of the best wrestling video games of all time. And I have played with Fred Durst's character. Very enjoyable experience, that is.
So you can just switch him in and he competes.
He's a wrestler.
He's definitely a wrestler, Fred Durst.
You could virtually beat up The Rock with Fred Durst. It's a good time for everybody.
Just so you know, somebody else recently did this.
Who's that?
Another musical artist. Music was used, and then they were created as a character in the game. I'm quizzing you right now. Clash with Brian. What do you think? Who do you think did that?
Can you give me a hint?
No.
Not any little hint?
It's a female.
Okay, that helps.
It's as big as at least half eliminated, if not more.
Okay, would that be Haley from Paramore?
No.
Okay. Can I get 3 guesses?
Okay. Do you like, what am I, a genie? Go away. Or what else?
I'm guessing for some reason, I'm going to say Cardi B.
No, but you're getting closer. She was actually up for this.
She was up
but she was in. She almost got this deal, but then she had her big court case and she couldn't make it.
Lizzo.
No.
Oh, you said court case. I thought maybe Lizzo.
No. It's Nicki Minaj, Nicki Lewinsky. She is in Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, and Warzone.
What's she doing in that game?
You're like, she's one of the like
soldiers. No way.
She runs around in like a hot pink outfit with like a pink gun.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything's like hot pink. Her hair, everything. So you can beat Nicki Minaj in the new Call of Duty, and it's because her music's in it.
That's hilarious.
Isn't that cool?
Now, I wonder if she demanded it or they just wanted her to do that. You know what I mean?
I think they wanted her to do it. It got a little bit trash because everyone's like, obviously, I would say traditionally there's a higher amount of men who play the game, and they're like, this is really the collab you drop is Nicki Minaj. And I'm like, well, there's still other players. Like, you could be somebody else.
It's also
you don't have to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's also disgruntled men. Why don't you want an attractive woman in the game?
Yeah, I mean, she's very pretty.
Yeah.
No one's mad at, P Galore in 007. I can't say the first word.
That's okay. That's okay.
I tried to edit.
Wow. Well, so maybe Fred Durst, maybe she was inspired by that and she used it. Or it's more common now, I think, to cross media, where back then in 2001, I bet that was a pretty interesting demand that Fred Durst had. I'm sure they were like, no, we're not doing that. He goes, well, then you can't use Limp Bizkit music. Can't do it. You can't
I mean, it's also fun. Every company should want to do this.
Yeah.
Because if you think you're appealing to it's a new way to appeal to a totally different fan base and not turn yours off because they don't have to use the character.
Well, there you go. There's a fact that makes your brain go. Fred Durst got in a video game because they wanted to use Nookie.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. There you go. Great Chicago sports fan, Eddie Vedder. More to the Cubs. I don't think I've ever seen Eddie Vedder at a Bears game. He's always at the Cubs games. But either way, he's certainly a Blackhawks fan. With the show a couple weeks ago when they were here, brought Chris Chelios on stage and told him that his number was being retired by the organization. So certainly Blackhawks, but maybe Eddie Vedder will come out to a Bears game now that they're going to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Right, exactly. Coming up in sports.
Someone's going to hear that and be like, how long was I asleep for? What'd I miss?
Was that a coma? Listen, they're 1-4. It's very nice. Great night last night. And, of course, with the news that Dick Butkus passed away right before the game was very emotional. We'll get into that in sports coming up at 7. First, it is Gil Curtis with your headlines.
This is not headline news. You can now buy cowboy boot Crocs. Perfect for the so-called cowboy who bought a pickup truck that mostly only sits in his driveway. Saturday Night Live returns October 14th. Pete Davidson will host. That won't violate the actors' strike because Pete can't act. The movie Beetlejuice will be back in theaters for its 35th anniversary. If you want to enjoy it even more, take the seat next to Lauren Boebert. And in sports, Travis Kelce says the NFL is overdoing its coverage of Taylor Swift. So the NFL replied, "We apologize to the boyfriend of Taylor Swift." This is not headline news.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.